Morning, everyone. This is the Commissioner's Agenda Meeting. The invocation today is going to be presented by Commissioner Wayne Aycock along with the Pledge of Allegiance. Approval of minutes. Any adjustments on the agenda?
Yes, sir. We do have some adjustments today. Number one, we would like to remove the public affairs video that is under special presentations, which is item number 2. We will do that at a later time. Number 2, we had originally planned to go see the new 911 EOC building after the meeting, and we would just like to cancel that at this time and reschedule that for a later date. Yes, Commissioner Pate is on WebEx. So Commissioner Pate, good morning.
Bill?
I'm here.
Okay. Good morning.
I had to back out and come back in. It wasn't working right. But we're good now.
Okay. So again, we would like to reschedule the 911 EOC tour for a later date. The other thing we would like to update is the holiday schedule that you have in your agenda packet, which Carol is handing out. We had a minor correction on that. We forgot to add my birthday as a holiday.
Really?
Yeah, it started this year, so no. But there was a day missing according to the county's personnel policy. And then under special presentations, we would like to add a resolution that will honor former Chairman Ray Mayo. And I believe Commissioner Aycock will be reading that if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. And that's where?
We'll do that under special presentations.
Are we going to do that as number 2?
We can do that as number 2, yes, sir.
Okay.
And also, I'll let Carol hand that out. She's busy this morning.
Mr. Manager,
Yes, sir.
do we need to move the one for Commissioner Mayo above the breast cancer one?
We can.
I just think it'd be more appropriate to have his first.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to have
Is
that as number 1.
all right with you, Mr. Doherty?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and number 2 would be motion to approve breast cancer.
Okay.
Somebody's writing this down.
I am.
Hey, we got this.
Thank you, sir.
And then we would like to add, you should have received an email from me yesterday from Jason Elliott requesting a work authorization to look at the airfield pavement strength evaluation at Wayne Jetport. We have some opportunities hopefully to get some additional planes in and hopefully some additional hangars, but a lot of it is dependent upon the strength of our current runway, if they can handle the size of aircraft that is planning to come. So in order to certify, we need to do this strength evaluation. And we do have money that will be accompanied with the appropriate budget amendment. We're going to move some money inside the budget. There's some matching dollars that may have been taken care of by COVID funds. So we will work on that, but at this point should not take a budget amendment moving money from fund balance.
All right, and we're placing that where?
If you would like, we could put that under consent. If there's any, we'll go over it, but we can
Is
put that
everybody
under
okay
consent.
with putting that under consent?
I was reading this and I wasn't even listening to what you were saying, to be honest.
Okay, the work authorization on the Jetport, can we put that under consent?
That's fine with me.
All right, so that would be under 9.
Yes, sir. And that is all I have at this time.
What was the last ad? I don't
Oh, the work authorization is consent.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
just that one. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Okay. Appointment committee?
Yes, sir, we have some applications that we will vote on today, and also we have some to recommend to vote on at the next meeting.
Okay.
And our clerk will help me on the pronunciation of some of them, so we
Okay.
won't embarrass me and the public.
Okay. Under the consent agenda, we have the applications for elderly exclusions and,
Well, did we want to go special presentations? Oh,
I thought under special presentation, we had 1, Ray Mayo proclamation, 2,
Yeah.
motion to approve breast cancer, number 3 would be the HUD homeowner recovery program.
right. She will do that. Is she still planning to do that WebEx?
Yes, she'll do that virtually.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes.
So, yeah, we hopefully it'll go well.
Okay.
But there was a request for Ms. Burns to make this presentation. I think there's some additional information out there about Florence and Matthew recovery that's my understanding. Is that right, Chip? Okay. So, all right.
After she makes that presentation, are we open to any questions to her?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then we're moving to consent agenda. Go ahead there.
All right. Thank you, sir. Under consent agenda, first is applications for elderly and disabled exclusion. This has been recommended and reviewed by our tax department and staff. Applications for disabled veteran exclusion, number 2, that has been reviewed and recommended by the tax department and staff. If there's no question on those 2, we will move to the favorite part of our agenda, our budget amendments. So I'll turn that over to Allison.
Okay, if we can, I'm going to hold just a moment for you to bring up the budget amendments. I know you're in the process of typing. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, I won't actually bring them up.
Oh, okay.
She'll just discuss them.
All right, good enough.
They begin on page 51 of your agenda packet with budget amendment number 81. So the first 3 I will present together, numbers 81, 82, 83. These will look familiar to you. These are related to the perpetual conservation easement for soil and water through the Agricultural Development and Farmland Preservation Trust Fund. This is grant monies that is awarded from the state, but we are required to hold the easement, and it is strictly pass-through monies. So the county does not have any money contributed to it, and has no part in the decision-making process, but it's required to be a pass-through through the county.
Can we charge a handling fee?
I wish we could. Ashley probably wishes we could too. I think it was some more work on her. So that takes you through 3 budget amendments through page 56. And then on page 57 begins the budget amendments number 94 for the sheriff's office. And I'm going to also present several of these together if you don't mind. These will go through page 66. These are all budget amendments related to insurance proceeds in the sheriff's office due to vehicle accidents. And I know you're familiar with probably 1 or 2 where there were total losses, some injuries, things like that. But the money recovered will be used to either repair these vehicles, and in the case of 2 of them where they were total losses, it will be used to replace these vehicles.
Okay, any questions on those? All right.
Okay. On page 67, for the health department, they are requesting an increase in their WIC program totaling $18,018. These are monies received from the NC Department of Public Health. For services on aging, and you will see several of these, they've received what their actual final allocations are going to be from the state on their grant programs. This one is for Title III funds, and they did have a slight decrease of $70. Another one for Services on Aging, this is budget amendment number 100. They had a slight decrease in the senior center general funds in the amount of $79. And in each one of these, you'll see they are adjusting their expenditure line items to offset the revenue decrease. Number 101 is for the Family Caregiver Support Program. This program has a decrease of $3,171 total. Number 102 is for Fund 225, which is our restricted portion of 911 monies. These are the monies that are approved through the state 911 board. They have received approval to fund the purchase of 2 servers, related licenses, and a digibox, and this is for the Emergency Medical Dispatch Program. And the total is $12,122.
This is above and beyond what they had originally.
Yes, sir. So they approved the actual EMD software, I believe is what it is.
Okay.
And then there was additional equipment required, and that's this additional equipment.
Okay.
For Services on Aging, there was a decrease in HCCBG funds totaling $271. For the Sheriff's Office, they are asking to reallocate $11,462 from their other communications line to contracts. This is an expenditure that existed already in their budget, but they were able to negotiate a cost decrease by signing an agreement with this company, LexisNexis. So they're moving it to their contracts line item so that we can track that.
So that's an actual reduction.
I think it will be, I think it will be as far as per user. They were paying a higher price for a limited number of users, and I think now they actually have more of a flexibility with how many users they have and things like that.
Okay.
For budget amendment number 110, they received an increase in the WIC funding from the Department of Public Health, $24,288. For the Sheriff's Office, they received $145.18 in controlled substance tax monies. And finally, for the Health Department, they are reappropriating a grant that was received in the prior fiscal year in the amount of $28,114.77. This grant does not run on our fiscal year, so they're having to bring those monies forward. And that is all I have for you.
Okay.
No question on budget amendments. We will go to number 4. Motion to approve preliminary plat for Hadley Acres, phases 2, 3, and 4, as recommended by the Wayne County Planning Department, and our planning director, Barry Gray, is here.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, the subdivision we have today is a preliminary plat. Hadley Acres, phases 2, 3, and 4. This is for 64 lots on 38.5 acres. And again, since this is preliminary, there are no improvements in place at this time. There is a phase 1 that was constructed back in the mid-2000s. Phase 2, 3, and 4 were part of a preliminary plat in 2007 that started the process but never finished the process due to the recession at that time. So they do have someone who is wanting to pick this project up and finish out Hadley Acres. This will bring the total phase 1 actually had 32 lots, so this will bring the total number of lots in Hadley Acres up to 96. It is located on South Beston Road. It's just south of Highway 70. As you turn onto South Beston Road off of 70, it is on the right, basically the first subdivision there on the right. Their average lot size is 22,000 square feet, and the planning board has reviewed this request and does recommend approval. And I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Looks good to me.
All right, thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
Next is number 5, motion to approve fireworks application for Hale Artificiate, thank you, Incorporated for the Bridge Church, 188 Whitley Church Road, Princeton, on October 31st, 2020. The paperwork has been reviewed and recommended to the board for approval. And then number 6 is a motion to approve the 2021 holidays calendar for the County of Wayne. And this is the revised one that Carol gave you that reflects our personnel policy. It does not include my birthday.
Well,
Change.
if I might ask, it looks like the only thing that changed was in adding one additional day for Christmas.
Right. That, according to the personnel policy, that should have been part of the thing. It's not anything more than what we're asking for is what's in the personnel policy. Then number 7, motion to approve change to the county personnel policy. We are looking at working on a diversity program and some diversity training, and we would like to add this policy to our personnel policy. There's some minor changes that Borden would like to see to it, but we would like approved contingent upon Borden's final approval.
Okay.
And then number 8, motion to approve CARES Act funding for the town of Mount Olive. As many of you are aware, the town of Mount Olive did not ask for their share of the CARES funding. Originally, all applications should have been in by September 1. However, they've had some changes with administration with the town of Mount Olive, and they have now come back and would like to receive their funding of the CARES. And they've asked, I believe it was 76, let's get the right page.
548.
That's right, 75,548, and we're recommending a staff for $60,000.
I just think this speaks highly of this board for, you know, with their changes and all down there, it's just one of them things that probably slipped through the crack, and we just, you know, we want the people of Mount Olive to know that, you know, we do make exceptions sometimes when it's necessary.
Well, and I want to thank Commissioner Hardison and Commissioner Cromartie, and they've really have stepped up and pushed forward for that. So I appreciate both y'all working with me on that.
And Mr. Manager, I'm glad that was brought out the fact that then, as you stated, they had some administrative changes in Mount Olive. Mount Olive has a history of working hard to make their environment better. Sometimes in December, I've already been in a few meetings, but probably in more of an official way, I'll be working with them on public works and beautification. And any dollars that comes to Mount Olive will continue to be highly appreciated. I'd like to thank my colleague, Mr. Hardison, right here, as we jointly work to speak out for Mount Olive. Mr. Hardison coming new on the program. Very soon after he came on, we had something of a meeting in Mount Olive, and I invited him to accompany me, and he was, of course, well received by Mount Olive because he has a piece of Mount Olive. And I want to say that it's in 1986 when I came to Wayne County, I heard a lot of things about how things work south of the river and what portion of funds that we get south of the river. So as this board continues down the path, it gives me great pleasure to know that Mr. Hardison will be still on this board to advocate for areas south of the river, as he will advocate naturally for all of Wayne County, I'm sure. But since we're talking about Mount Olive, I wanted just to highlight that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Cromartie.
request on this item that we add an appropriate budget amendment.
Well, and also one of the things that we're going to request that they do is sign the MOU.
Okay.
That the other municipalities signed as well to receive the CARES funding. So we'll do the appropriate budget amendment as well as the MOU as well.
Okay.
So thank you, Alice.
Okay.
And then we'll go to new business. Discussion and approval of Wayne County Public Records Policy.
We'll back up to consent agenda. Number 9 was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Work authorization.
Oh, I'm sorry. The consent agenda, I added it on and forgot about it. One of the things we've been requested to do is to do a work authorization. This would allow us to begin looking at the strength of our runway out at the jetport. As you're aware that it's been paved a couple of times, but one of the things we've not done is done a strength analysis of it. And we've got an opportunity to get a couple additional jets in, hopefully to build some new hangars there. But we have to make sure that the weight of the runway can withstand the weight of the jets that are planning to come in. So it's a really big win for us, and we need to know, regardless if they come or not, we need to know this information because right now we are limited on the size of airplanes that can come to the jetport.
Okay.
So, and I believe the total cost on that is $10,853.
What's the gut feeling of our staff at the airport on this, the runways will be okay? I mean, they bound to have a gut feeling.
They feel like we're in good shape. They really do feel like we're in good
Yeah, the
shape. We just got to
engineer feels
prove it.
like we are, too.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We just got to
need
prove it.
certify it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And could we also add, because even though the funds are over there, we're going to have to reallocate some line items there, could we also add appropriate budget amendment? That just keeps me from having to bring it back before you and,
Right.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because they need to get this done ASAP.
Right.
And now the new business?
New business. Number 1 is discussion and approval of the Wayne County Public Records Policy. Again, this is in your agenda packet, and this has been reviewed by our county attorneys and recommended to the board for approval. And
Any questions or comments on that?
And number 2 is motion to approve purchase of MSV Series 500 rapid testing van for the health department as recommended by the purchasing manager. As the board's aware, we began looking at a testing van with some of our COVID CARES funding. One of the directions and suggestions the board has was if we could find half the funding through other pots, that the county would be willing to look at the other half through some of the COVID CARES. And Brenda has found another grant opportunity to fund the half of that, and so we would move the other half from our COVID CARES dollars. Even though it's already all fully been allocated, we will still move that around.
Do you want me to go ahead and do appropriate budget amendment now, or do you want me to wait until she's actually got the grant dollars? We can do this one of 2 ways here. Either way, I'll have to have a.
I would say if we could do a budget amendment with appropriate budget
Okay.
amendment.
All right,
So we
so-
could go ahead and get this moving.
So just add the language
Right.
in, okay.
Mr. Honeycutt?
Yes, sir.
Now, this van is primarily now will be for the COVID.
Yeah, it will.
What will be the use of this van when the COVID goes away? If it goes away?
Right now it's for testing, but also for immunizations. So when immunizations and hopefully, when the COVID immunizations, this will allow us to go out into the community and do those immunizations, and meeting those people where they live.
And specifically the flu.
Right.
Okay.
Flu as well. Yes, sir.
So, they're saying a lot of people can't come into Goldsboro, so they can go out and actually stage this in various places in the community.
Well, I just wanted the general public to know that there's a need for this van regardless of whether it's COVID or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Right. Okay?
And
And then we'll move on to, we'll have public comments. And my understanding is we have a sign up outside.
Yes, sir. We had a lovely new metal pedestal that I just banged into my leg this morning, and it's out there.
Really? All right.
Yes.
And while I'm thinking about it, is there some type of a placard or sign or something out there stating that that is in fact to sign up?
If they miss that,
Do what now?
if they miss that whole pedestal and
Oh,
the
okay,
sheet and
but
everything.
yeah, but you might want to put a sign there
Yes,
stating
sir.
signing
I
it.
can do that.
County manager's report then would be next.
yes, sir.
Board of Commissioner committee reports. Closed session. Do we have a closed session?
Yes, sir.
Do we have time for a closed session now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It would be to discuss matters relating to the expansion of businesses in Wayne County and to consult with your attorneys to preserve attorney-client privilege.
Okay, we have a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
We got a motion. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand.
And
Okay.
Mr. Pate?
I heard that aye, Bill.
All right,
That was what, I'm still out here.
All right.
all right, Bill, we're going to cut you off here, and I'm going to call you on the phone so that we can bring this down as far as broadcasting it to go into closed session.
With this Cisco session I'm in, I can keep it up on my laptop.
I think so.
Because I had to go out twice and come back in because I was having so much problems. I don't know what was going on. Anyway, you'll call me on my phone. We'll be good to go.
Okay, all right.